see that Ocean Baker is in the room. I see that the Moores are in the room. And so if King Moore and Levette Moore can kind of make themselves known, we're running a few minutes early. So yay, you bring yourself up. And I'm going to be passing the mic over to a really cool woman who you're going to hear about today, is Carmel. And Carmel Ecker is going to be running this next session. And, you know, in North America, we are coming up to Mother's Day. There's a lot of things that women do, and some of that falls in the category of momager. And we talked a little bit about that yesterday. And so Carmel is a known, you know, is known to you. She is our journalist on staff for those of you that have been needing help and support getting your chapters done. She also is on every podcast that we shoot, pulling out the right verbiage, and a journalist is a good person for that. So as you're sitting on our podcast, and if you didn't know we have one and you like to do shows, then you better get in touch with me or Carmel. We do these incredible shows, group shows, solo shows, 3-part miniseries. What do you want to do? We do it. And she's on there pulling out the best words that drop out of your mouth that you don't even know. And she puts all of our production of our podcast together. She's going to share what she does. You probably noticed that there's a bike in the back there. This woman rips it up and teaches people how to rip it up. She does jumps, and I'm like, okay, just tell me that you landed. So let me pass the mic over to Carmel Ecker, and she's going to be interviewing some cool people.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Deb. And it's funny you say I rip it up, because I feel pretty confident on my bike. I'm a skilled rider. I've been riding for almost 30 years now. And I went to a particular area that's very downhill focused, very steep, very gnarly in places, and rode down one of the trails, and I felt so out of my element. I was like, okay, this is like next level steep. This is where the professionals ride. And I was like, I don't want to be here. I remember riding down one section going, I'll use different words. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If you're not scared, you know what I mean? You're not living. So way to go.
It's good to get out of that comfort zone. Yeah. So I'm super excited. I get to interview you today, which is really awesome. I'm usually on the side of listening and watching to you interview other people, but so great to have you here. Ocean, awesome to have you here as well. And Yvette and King, so excited to have you all in the room. So we're going to ask everybody the questions, and the topic really is like momagers, parents managing their kids' careers, which I have not gotten into yet. My son has no interest in starting a business yet, but never say never. So we're going to start with Ocean. And I'm going to let everybody talk about themselves and their own business, because you'll do it way better than I will. But Ocean, tell us what's your company name and what do you do?
Yeah, my company's name is called Natsukashi Inc. And what I do is I create custom clothing, fashion, streetwear, and art pieces, and I kind of put my own twist on them and make it my own.
Awesome. And creativity is the name of the game, yeah?
Oh, I'm wearing it right now.
Yeah, I noticed. They do show up every now and then on 262 and everywhere else. So, King, same question for you. What do you do, and what's your name, your company name?
Actor, singer, dancer, and a recording artist. And technically, I'm the brand, so I'm the company technically. But it's King Moore World. It's my merch company.
Okay. Now I'm having a tough time hearing you.
Yeah, I was just going to say, if you could turn it up a little bit, or maybe talk closer to the mic. I know that there you go. That's got to be better. Do you want to say that again?
So I'm an actor, singer, dancer, and a recording artist, and my company name is King Moore World. This is my merch company.
King Moore World. Awesome. Fantastic. Yeah, and I did get the chance to watch one of your videos earlier today. I was checking you out, and super fun stuff that you're doing. And I can't imagine doing all that stuff because how you're 8 or 9?
I'm 9 years old. I just turned 9.
Just turned 9. So I can't imagine doing what you're doing when I was 9 years old. So now, Yvette, was this a surprise for you? Like, how did this develop?
No, this definitely was a surprise for me.
You guys, I'm just gonna interrupt a little bit because I want people to hear you. I think you're gonna have to talk like you're screaming. I'm not sure what's happening with the mic, but I want I want people to be able to hear what you're saying because your story is so powerful, and this really is truly Momager at the finest.
Yes, it definitely was a surprise. Since we don't come from the entertainment industry, we actually come from the sports world. And King, known at such a young age, this is what he wanted to do. He came to us at 3 years old, right?
3 years old. And they bought me a smart TV and a tablet at 3 years old. And I was watching people like Michael Jackson, Chris Brown, Dre, Bruno Mars, Soulja Boy, and they inspired me. And I wanted to be just like them. Well, all of them combined. So I went to my dad and mom and asked them, can I be a recording artist? My dad laughed so hard he said no at first. But he told me to come back when I was 5. So on my 5th birthday, I asked him again, and guess what? He forgot. He thought I would forget, but he forgot. So then my mom had to remind him, and then he got reminded. And then look at me now.
So what I'm picking up on is determination. You were determined that this was going to be your career path, which it can't be easy for you, Yvette, having a very determined child.
No, no. We were hoping that he would change his mind because we understand the industry, we understand it's hard, and we had to make a lot of sacrifices. I had to leave my job. I had to sell my dream house I just built. I had to move across the country and start over, but it's definitely paid off. He and seeing him on the stage performing and seeing him his determination and his skills for and he practices and he wants to learn and he wants to do better and I see his drive, so I can only do all I can do is support it.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And Deb, same question for you. Like, was it a surprise for you, and what's it been like taking Ocean on this journey?
Oh, when we had a conversation, me and King and his mom, Levette, and we were talking about some of the things that you go through as a momager. And, you just shared like you changed location, you left your job, you sold your home. Over here, it was really, having a full business. And then what is it going to look like to bring in another full business? And what was that going to do? And what was that going to cost? And how was I going to manage that? I mean, I think there's all sorts of things behind the scene that people can imagine, but they don't imagine. But I think, for me anyways, was it a surprise? I talked a little bit about this yesterday, is that it wasn't a surprise to me that he had creative bones in his body because, we're very creative. Genetically, I would say he's creative. I always say to Ocean, I think he ended up with the best of the gene pool for sure. Right? But him to actualize it so young and have that clarity. Talent is one thing. I want to make this a living. And I don't know if you went through that as well. It's like you see it in your kid. You don't know that it's going to formulate or how it's going to formulate. You hope that they don't lose that creativity, right? We really went the music direction at first. I mean, I had a drum kit in my living room. How many other parents had drum kits instead of, couches? That was us, and him learning guitar and all of that. But I'll tell you, the moment that I knew it was a for sure, not only when he sat me down and told me it was for sure at 50, at 12, I saw it, but, and we were walking back from Holt Renfrew. Now, I don't know what your kids like to do, but I would say to Ocean, hey, let's go swimming. Let's go for dinner. Let's go to movies. And it's like, okay. But if I said, let's go shopping, it was like, up, let's go. And we used to go to stores that we couldn't afford to shop in. And he literally would be feeling the fabric. So I would be standing back and watching him going, the button should really be over here. And these are kind of top designers that, if they heard him say that, they'd probably have a few words. But he's like, I'd like it to be like this and I'd like it to be like that. And I remember how excited he was when he got to register himself at a store because we could afford to buy the socks at that store. That was a big deal. And then we came walking home and there was an orange pylon on the road. There was construction. I wasn't paying attention to it. And as we walked by it, Ocean was like, Mom, I keep getting these visions in my head. And when I asked what that was, like any good mom would, he said, that pylon, yeah, he goes, I've already turned it into a shirt. And I was like, my friend, that is a Napoleon Hill moment. we came home and we signed him up for a class in LA that we couldn't afford the year before, couldn't afford the year before that, and honestly couldn't afford it then, particularly because it was LA. You know what I mean? And he signed up, and at 16, he was sitting there making his first pair of Nikes at the shoe surgeon in LA because of a pylon. And so, was it a surprise? Yes and no. To get here, kind of like how you guys probably feel, it's pretty cool to feel here, to be here. I think it's unforeseen, you know, like any good entrepreneurial world.
Both your stories really hit home the importance of just tuning into what your kids are saying. It's so easy when they're young to dismiss certain aspirations or certain passions, like, oh, that's a nice hobby, oh, that's really cute, and to not take them seriously. And I love that both of you really listened to your kids, listened to the big and the small signals, and said, okay, like, if you're in for this, let's do it. That's just such a powerful example for other parents who have, kids that show ambition really, really early, entrepreneurial ambition really, really early in life. So Ocean, what was something that you needed to learn for your business that was a little on the tough side? Kind of, it was like, oh, I don't know if I can do this.
Yeah, one of the things I had to learn about my business that I found kind of tough at first, especially was like public speaking. I never did like a podcast or summit or like TV before, so I had to get a little bit like comfortable talking about it and kind of selling yourself. That's something I had to like learn through this process was probably a big one.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, I know I feel like more comfortable with it, but you know.
Yeah, well, anything that you do more than once, the more you do it, the better you get at it, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. King, what about you? What's something that's been a bit challenging that you had to learn to move forward in your business?
I'll say listen to understand and not listen just to get it over with or follow directions.
Following directions. Yeah, yeah. That could be something tough when you just want to do the thing, right? Like I imagine there's moments where you're like, I just want to sing, I just want to do what I'm passionate about, and you've got people that are telling you, well, you got to do it this way, or we have to do this first. Does that sound about right? Yeah, yeah. Yvette, what has been something that has made you proud as King has navigated his business?
We can't hear you, hon. You're gonna have to talk like you're screaming, I think.
Oh, no,
We
we
can't.
can't hear you at all now. Oh dear. Maybe what I'll do, if you can tweak your sound, I'm going to throw that question to Deb for a moment, and then we'll come back and hopefully we've got the sound worked out. So Deb, why don't you go ahead and answer that question? What's been a moment that's made you really, really proud of Ocean in his business journey?
Yeah. I think that when you watch, like, so for example, he was talking about how he didn't really enjoy podcasts. He didn't really enjoy talking publicly. So it was a really big proud moment when I saw him do his first presentation. And I knew he was nervous. I mean, we know our kids, right? And just how he overcame that in his own mind. Like, I think as a parent, I don't know about you, but I'm like, you want to be that safety net. You want to cover them in a blanket. You want to make sure that they're going to be okay. You want them to have that good first experience because you're scared that maybe they won't want to do it again. And so I was as nervous for him, trying not to show it in his first public appearance. And so to see him stand there and stand back and to be able to handle the room, there was 50 people and you were there. It was at Dayton Boots, and he handled the room. And we know what it's like to hold container. And he did incredibly well. So, I mean, that was definitely a proud moment, and it's transpired into, I saw him at the Oscars and someone stuck a microphone in his face, and I was standing back. I was actually probably standing with these guys. I was standing back and I saw this microphone go in his face and I went, Like, because normally I'm there. Normally I'm preparing him. Normally we're doing cue cards. Normally we're doing all behind the scene. And I was like, okay, this is going to either he's going to hate this and tell me he was upset that he was there. And then next thing I saw, he was talking and he was this, and my nervous system started to regulate again because, I think for me, the nervousness, that one thing that doesn't go right or that gets harder, or you put someone through something past their knowledge, it might be a deterrent. It's kind of like, I never want to do that again. So I was really proud of that. And I talked about it yesterday, just, I'm really proud of the human he is, not just the artist, not just the fashion designer. Recently we were at an event and it was a trade event, and Ocean was selling some things and there was an artist there not selling. And, he asked if he could have some money and go buy some art from somebody else. And I was like, absolutely, and that just showed me good human stuff. Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. And I know what you're talking about, that feeling like want to jump in and kind of rescue, as it were, even sometimes when our kids don't need rescuing.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's that
aced
mama
it.
bear draw.
Yeah. He aced it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yvette, how are we doing? Can we
Can
hear
you
you?
hear us?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yay.
Yay, okay. All better.
Okay. So yeah, let's come back to that question for you. What's a proud moment that you've had with King in his journey?
I would have to say every time that he's on stage and watching him transform and how he turns into this other person and he just performs with so much love and passion. That'd be, but if I had to bring it down to actually one moment, would be the moment that he got invited to the White House to join the anti-gun violence initiative and actually speak. And he wrote a song called "Safe at School," and he was able to meet the ex-president and vice president and talk about gun safety at school and how he wanted to be involved.
Wow. Wow. I have to ask King, what was that like for you? Being in front of the president, performing a song that you wrote in front of the president.
Well, it was nerve-wracking because it's like a one-time thing being at the White House. But I always love to sing and perform in front of people and see their reactions. So after all that, it was fun. It's just my passion, and I get used to it a lot.
Yeah. So you just
But
did
it was
your
very
thing.
nerve-wracking.
It was nerve-wracking, yeah. Given the audience. Awesome. That would be just, I can't imagine that experience as an adult going and performing in front of like a world leader. So well done for holding your nerves. Ocean, we'll come back to you. What is something that you'd like to see happen in your business, or for yourself as a result of being in your own business?
Oh yeah, one thing, I mean, I've been seeing it happen where just like people been wearing my clothes. I think that's like just that alone is so cool. But if I had to choose something else, I mean, I'd love to see like or meet some like famous designers like Alexander McQueen or the creator of like Bape or something like that, or just seeing them like holding my clothes is just like another feeling. Like seeing them wear it, like even like if Travis Scott or like Young Thug or like that would just be crazy. And down the line, having like our own store, that's what I'd love to see in the future happen.
That would be amazing, having your own store filled with your own clothing. But you've
Yeah,
actually had celebrities wearing your stuff already, right?
yeah, that's crazy still, but that's yeah, it's hard to believe that kind of stuff will actually happen. So
Yeah, yeah. And that's the kind of thing that happens when you go to the Oscars or the Emmys gifting lounge. So that's a pretty cool experience that has no
yeah,
doubt put your business forward. Yeah.
yeah, no, like anybody wearing it is just cool to me. So that like grateful for anything that's happening.
Yeah, that reminds me of when I was starting out as a writer and seeing my name in print, like in public for the first time, and just being like, "Oh my God, I'm really doing it! I'm a real writer."
Yeah.
So that's very cool. Yeah. And King, you, what's something that you aspire to, something that you'd like to make happen for your business or yourself on this journey?
So I'll say to have my own TV show, tour around the world, and sing my songs, and star in many movies.
Ooh, what kind of
Mm.
movies?
I would say, like, what kind of movies?
Yeah.
Probably action movies.
Action movies.
Action. Um, or comedian movies.
Comedy is a good.
But mostly action movies.
Who would be
Like,
an action movie star that you would love to be in a movie with?
let's see. Jackie Chan.
Oh, good one.
Cool.
I love Jackie Chan, and he does comedy too.
Mhm.
So like,
I love all the Rush Hours. I love all the Rush Hours.
yeah.
And my favorite comedian is Chris Tucker.
Okay. Well, I am crossing my fingers for you that you'll not only have you met either one of them?
No.
Okay, well, I'm crossing my fingers that you not only get to meet them someday, but that you also get to star in a movie with one or both of them. That would be super, super cool.
That would be super cool.
Yeah, yeah. So, moms, back to you. I guess I'll start with Deb. What is a suggestion or some advice that you have for other parents that have an ambitious entrepreneurial child, whatever the age, on how to support them?
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's a number of things. I think when you think about supporting this incredible creative being, whatever business they want to go in. I mean, we happen to connect because we're in that creative field, but there's lots of young entrepreneurs that are falling into all sorts of categories, right? All sorts of categories. I think that for me, I would say looking back, because maybe because I'm a mom and maybe because I've been in business for a little while, I thought that, you kind of go in it with an alone minded. I didn't think to grab an accountability partner. I didn't think to go grab another mom or a dad or someone who was being a mentor to someone else to banter things off. It really filled my bucket with, my list went from here to here. And I think now that there's this big collective, I mean, I talk to momagers and dadagers and anagers and whatever many times, and I need that support because the stretch is real. The stretch is real. And what I would say is I loved how, I mean, it's interesting, right? So, King, you talked about wanting it at 3 and your parents made you wait till you were 5. I did the same thing with Ocean, right? So we had just come out of this music, and even though I saw it and I knew it was real, we just didn't have the resources, right? So as I was building my business, I was like, okay. And he was learning behind the scene. I didn't learn my first business was a piece of paper, and I wrote about it when I was on a class, and I built most of my companies on that. And then I built it on knowledge. So with him, it was like, you need to do a business plan, and we need to do this, and you need to learn these different things about your business. And he was waiting to find the right company to put his products on. And it took him 2 years as a designer to finally find the right factory. And for me, I was like, oh, thank goodness. You know what I mean? Like, because we had to prepare for that. I mean, these kids are hitting. I think we can all agree we see their future, and I think they see it too. And they've been backed and supported to do so. But in the beginning, I think it's great to have some breath time and to move into that, because when it moves pretty quickly, at least on my behalf. So I'd say support, financial support, emotional support. We had an investment package made really quick. We know what it's going to take. And then also getting support for myself.
Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah, support in any business. I can see
Yeah.
that's one
Yeah.
of the key
But you
things.
got to double it twice.
Right, right, exactly. You need support, and
Yeah,
then
you need to keep the rice in your bowl so that you can do the rice in that bowl.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. What about you, Yvette? What would be your advice or suggestion to other parents going through the same journey?
It would be to understand that it's going to be a sacrifice in order to get to your end goal. So you're going to have to make hard decisions, and when you're making those decisions, ask why. Why not turn your life upside down for your children? They're only going to be this age for so long. You can always go back to your life. You can always get the stuff that you have to sacrifice now. You can get it later. You can buy that house later. You can go back to work later. but you only get so many years at this age that you can nurture and push and mold and train and have these moments and these memories. Whether he makes doesn't make it, I have this time and these memories forever with him.
That's really, really beautiful. Beautiful. So thank you, everybody, for sharing. I have no doubt that there are parents and kids out there who are on the same journey who are going to get so much value from this conversation, from the insights that you've shared. So thank you so much. Now we have a gift from Ocean. Maybe Deb, I'll let you take that over. You can share about the gift.
Sure. We're gonna do some gifting, and first of all, we're really going to encourage because it helps in this particular world of following. So, King, if you guys can put your stuff in the chat, like the Instagram and everywhere that you're playing, and same thing with Ocean, we'll put that all in the chat and everywhere that they're playing. We support that and encourage that, and please do. And if there's websites, please go on there. All the IP address, all of that following is really important. But it's important for all of us as entrepreneurs. It's really looked upon with these guys. They're like, how many followers does it have? So that's all really cool and groovy. And so, yeah, we just want to support anybody that supports. So if there's anything that King's got on his website that you purchase and send us that receipt, or anything that you can do in that area, that you're going on the site, you're Instagramming, what have you. Same things with Ocean. If you go onto Ocean's site or Instagram and there's anything that you buy there, from a sticker up, from a sweatshirt up, you're Instagramming, you're following, send us that. I'm not difficult to find, right? You can send us that, screenshot what you've done, send it in, and we're going to send you a beautiful Natsukashi journal just for supporting this generation. We're going to support you back, and you can write about how good you are and how great you are in your journal. You can do whatever you want in your journal, but we're going to send that to you. We're going to just ask for this cool reciprocal support. And honestly, I have to say that just them coming together, them talking together, doing collaborations, this whole world of collaboration, this whole generation of new world of entrepreneurship, there is no really like, you're doing the same thing I'm doing, like, because you can see they're both wearing their own sweatshirts. No one, like, it's not an issue. Like, it's not the same. It is truly, there's so much we can learn from the collaborations, and they're like, I'm going, come with me. Oh, Ocean, you want to have Drake wear your shirt? Well, I know Drake, let me do that. Oh, you want to have a movie producing? Well, let me know. Let's just introduce you to Bada. She probably knows someone that she can get you on a show with. Like, it really is like that. And it is like, go, go, go. So yeah, we're willing to support back if anyone supports. So just tell me what you've done and we'll send you something.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Am I handing this back to Katie?
Yeah, I think you're handing it back to Katie. Thanks for interviewing.
Katie.
Thanks for interviewing us. Thank you.
That was awesome. I love it. Oh my gosh, I already went to King's Instagram. It's really good, by the way. Lots of color. You guys are great. It's so fun to be introduced and realize the power of this community of coming together. Like you said, someone's going to know someone, and put it out there. It's going to happen. If it's in there, it's going to be out there. So I love it. That was awesome.
I agree with you. I think that's one of the most important things about asking someone what they want, because a lot of times we keep it in here. So now we're all going to be watching for Jackie Chan. Like so we can reach out, and Ocean, wanting to have Drake, and some of the other people that you said wanting to wear your clothes, and you want to have a conversation with the owner of Babe, and we're all going to be listening for that. And it's the same thing for every single one of us, right? Being able to put it out there. So right on.
I love it.
Right
yeah,
on.
it's exciting. The future
all right.
is very bright.
All right. Well, thanks. Thank you. Thank you, Ocean. Thank you, Livette. Thank you, King, for coming on.